What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here for a brand new Madden 22 realistic rebuild with the Denver Broncos. Still have a lot of teams left to do. I'm doing every team in the NFL, and it's obviously, yes, that's going to get pretty weird when we get to like the top dogs and we get to try to rebuild the Chiefs and the Cowboys and the Rams and stuff like that, the Bucks. Gotta get done. But right now we want to focus on, especially because Black Monday was a couple days ago, some of the teams that went through some turnover in the front office department, and I thought, the Texans rebuild still staring us in the face there. Have yet to get to that one, but that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a juicy one, and I felt today, not going that crazy, wanted to maybe pick up a roster that definitely things are changing, but I have some stuff to work with, and I feel like that kind of landed me here on the Denver Broncos. Because the NFL regular season has ended, this first year is not going to count. So we're going to, year one, this is not even really year one yet. It's kind of just more of an introduction, and then we'll be able to do 5 years in addition. As you can see, I went with just the betting odds favorite for the head coach right now, Nathaniel Hackett from the Green Bay Packers. Looks like it's going to be him or Dan Quinn. I think those are the two top dogs. I think going from Fangio, why go back? I like Dan Quinn. I thought Dan Quinn probably should have got fired when he was in Atlanta, but I've always liked Dan Quinn. He was a DC for the Florida Gators. Very good. I was actually kind of hoping instead of going to the Cowboys, he'd go back to college and take over for Dan Mullen at Florida. But, I think if you go from Vic Fangio, why would you go back to another defensive coordinator? Get someone offensive-minded. Get someone that can help you not only find eventually a quarterback, but develop that quarterback into the franchise quarterback that the Denver Broncos are absolutely screaming for. So that is what we're going to do. I actually have no idea, though. Sometimes I jot down. We've already done a rebuild with Aaron Rodgers going to the Denver Broncos, and that was earlier in the year when there was rumors that Aaron Rodgers might go to the Denver Broncos. Now it kind of looks, maybe that could still happen, but I don't know. Maybe Denver's going to draft. I really have no idea. Usually I like to jot down what quarterback I want to use in a rebuild like this. Nothing's there. I'm going to try to avoid drafting quarterbacks that we've already used. So we've already used Malik Willis. We've used Anthony Richardson. We've used Desmond Ridder. We've used Sam Howell. We've used CJ Stroud. So we're kind of getting down there a little bit to the available quarterbacks. But we still, there's Kenny Pickett is still there. You can go in and maybe but that's the thing. How many years do we go without drafting a quarterback? Are the Denver Broncos going to be shitty enough to get into a range to maybe even look at considering drafting Bryce Young? So I have no idea. I'm actually kind of hoping that there's a really, really interesting free agent that it's the open market that maybe is somewhat unexpected. I don't know off the top of my head the popular free agents from the quarterback spot outside of Aaron Rodgers really in year two. Sometimes you get Baker Mayfield. I don't know. I think the mystery of how I'm going to solve this Denver Broncos quarterbacks problem is what makes this rebuild pretty damn interesting for me. So before we get into the preview of the roster and a little bit of a breakdown, I need to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Aspen Labs, and this is a message from their founder, Chris. What is Aspen Labs? Well, for $100, you can be the guy at your next party trying to explain why your NFT is worth 20 grand and getting a lot of eye rolls. They will ask, where's the value? Well, here it is. Aspen Labs NFTs are avatars in their upcoming metaverse. Each NFT is a playable historical character that will allow you to earn in Aspen and developing your own application, so the passive income can keep on rolling in. What makes Aspen Labs different? They aren't named after a cute dog, cat, animal, or Japanese bread. The 20-year-olds on Wealth Simple haven't mentioned them yet. They're new, like everything your parents hate. They are a blockchain-based gaming and lending company based out of Canada and Singapore. Stop randomly buying things you don't need. Buying NFTs isn't an impulse buy. They aren't Snickers in a checkout aisle. If you're able to research Chuba Hubbard stats for your fantasy team, do your research on Aspen Labs. And honestly, they're not just making NFTs and lending to students. They're hiring Canadians. And if you haven't looked around at all the help wanted signs recently, that puts them in a unique position. So if you're trying to save up money to get up the property ladder in New York or Manitoba, why not take hold of your digital future as well with Aspen Labs? For a limited time, they are running a giveaway with $5,000 in prizes. So if you want to make some money, just check out the links in the description below. So let's take a little gander here at the Denver Broncos roster. I think Broncos roster is low-key underrated for the most part. I think there are some spots that I have some concerns about, but they have a lot of young players, especially for a 5-year rebuild, a lot of key young developmental guys, high ceiling, that I think are going to make this a rebuild. That we're finally, I think we're 3 rebuilds in a row without a Super Bowl victory. We're due. We are absolutely due. So looking at the quarterback spot, we probably aren't winning a Super Bowl with a quarterback on the roster currently. Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, and Brett Rippon. Drew Lock, if one of these guys had a dev trait, I might say, you know what, in the laws of Madden, maybe we could develop them. But I mean, you got Teddy Bridgewater, and fitting his name's Bridge because he is a bridge quarterback. And I don't dislike Teddy. I think coming back from the injuries that he did come back is awesome. But there's just a certain ceiling there. You know, you look at when he was in Carolina, Joe Brady couldn't develop him, couldn't take him to the next level. But if Joe Brady can't take you to the next level, I have my doubts that another QB mind like Nathaniel Hackett will be able to take you to another level. So we are very much going to be in the market for a quarterback. But at least the best thing is that there's not a lot of money invested salary cap wise in the quarterback spot here for Denver. So it's not going to hinder our roster while we have lackluster quarterbacks. I think the 1-2 punch of Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams was awesome. If I'm a Bronco fan, for fantasy football, it was absolutely garbage. And I'm saying that as someone that had Melvin Gordon in fantasy when I really want Javonte. But Melvin Gordon is set to be a free agent, and I think he's underrated as hell. I just look at that. I mean, 87 overall rating is good for Melvin Gordon, but normal dev, come on now. Melvin Gordon is a beast. If you gave Melvin Gordon RB1 number of touches, he's still 1,300 yards every single year in the NFL. So he's still nice, and I think if I was in real life with the Denver Broncos, I would, as much as it's, you see the upside and the fact that Javonte Williams is probably at this point in his career, because Melvin Gordon's almost 29, the more talented of the two running backs. Let's throw no disrespect to Melvin Gordon. Was damn near almost goated at college level, going in and coming into the Chargers and stuff like that for the first couple years. But I think honestly, in real life, keep this together. Two sensational running backs, kind of do what the Cleveland Browns are doing with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, by all means. But for this rebuild, because Madden, you need to get development and all that stuff, we're most likely going to let Melvin Gordon walk, and Javonte Williams is going to be the star of the show. Absolute insane running back, and a beast. And I think if we're going to make an argument to real life, to keep Melvin Gordon, just is more just not so much talking about this rebuild, but talking about Broncos and the team of the state of the Broncos, is that Javonte Williams has always kind of been in a committee. When he was in North Carolina, it was him and Michael Carter, who's doing the damn thing up now there for the New York Jets. So, I mean, maybe there's something there to, Javonte Williams, he's never really been the guy. I have no doubts that he could not just be RB1, take that spot over. But, I mean, when he was his best in college, he was in a committee. So, maybe keeping a committee in the pros is the best way to get Javonte. He runs very, very hard. So, maybe having him not, maybe the reason why he breaks so many tackles, maybe the reason why he's so efficient that way is because he's not running it every single down. He's not out there every single down. He can come out, get fresh, come back in, and absolutely ruin some absolute soft tackles that you try to bring on him. But anyways, put a cap on the running back room. It's going to be Javonte Williams' room. Wide receivers, again, a lot of talent here. Cortland Sutton, we have him, 83 with the start dev. We have Tim Patrick, who's, let's be honest, man, he's kind of always looked like the odd man out, but he just always produces. I want to say almost quarterback proof. Doesn't really feel like it matters what QB's there in Denver. He is very solid. He's constantly making plays. He's 27, so he's a little bit older than some of the other wide receivers in the room, but 79 star dev is nice. We have Jerry Jeudy, who is 80 with the star dev, only 22. You got KJ Hamler, 71. Normal dev, that's a little annoying. I think Hamler's a little bit more talented than that, but we have 4 wide receivers here that I am very excited for. That I think once we can actually find a quarterback, they are going to be very productive for said quarterback. And then go to the tight end spot. Of course, Alberto, from an athletic standpoint, 6'5", 260 with almost 90 speed, 90 acceleration. That's pretty freaky, but no offensive beast. 23, 83 with the star dev, very high ceiling. He is, going to be a pillar of this offense. Offensive line is where it gets a little less than ideal. Garrett Bowles with the dev trait solid, but he's 29. I mean, he was an old prospect when he was coming out of Utah. So he kind of has that working against him. But who knows? I mean, linemen here, you try to run them into the ground. Hopefully we can keep them for the full 5 years. You have Risner at left guard. Another kind of there we go. There's a guy that's going to be here for the whole time. 79 star dev, only 26. You have Muti, 72 star dev, only 22. You got Cushenberry, 72 at center. Star dev, only 23 at right guard. Glasgow, that's going to be a contract we try to work out of because we have Quinn Minert, who's at 71 star dev out of Wisconsin Whitewater, the rookie there. Flip over to right tackle, you have Bobby Massey. I think it comes down to, at this point, it's probably going to be in the best interest. His Risner can play everywhere. He played everywhere at Kansas State. I think we're going to move him to right tackle. And that just frees things up for Muti, who has the dev trait to start at left guard. And now we have Bowles, who from an age standpoint, hopefully the regression hits, but we should have a left tackle for this rebuild. Should have a left guard for the rebuild. Center, right guard, right tackle. All these guys, for the most part, are on the right side of 30 with dev traits, so the O-line is set and forget, and not having to worry about rebuilding the offensive line is always just easier and funner in a Madden rebuild because you're not, using top-tier resources to fix that. Then on the defensive side, we have Draymond Jones, had a little bit of a breakout this year. Got himself a dev trait, 24-77. Can work with that. He's a scheme fit. We're going to Nathaniel Hackett, coming from the Green Bay, where they also ran a 3-4, so we're not going to be changing to a 4-3 or anything like that. So there's another piece that I expect here long-term. Right defensive end, not so much. We got Shelby Harris, who's solid, has the dev trait, but he is 30, so he's probably going to be more so a Band-Aid for the first year or so until he can find his replacement. Inside a D tackle, yeah, we need to bring in a nose tackle as well. Push that to the top of the needs. Right with quarterback is nose tackle, defensive end. Got to replace Von Miller. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what pick they got from the Rams for Von Miller. I know it wasn't the first, but we're going to have to get some pass rush out. I think Malik Reed's solid, but from a Madden standpoint, I'm a little bit worried about what his ceiling's going to be. Inside a middle linebacker, you have Alexander Johnson, who's in a contract year, and he's 29, so he's pretty much at his ceiling right here. That's going to have to be kind of a tough decision because you go beyond that. I think Jewell, also injured. He is in a contract year. If he had a dev trade, I would consider it, but the fact that 26, that one's a little bit tougher because you look at someone like Baron Browning, very good athlete, and if I had to gamble on like giving Browning or Jewell the snaps to get a dev trade, I think I'd much rather just go with Baron Browning at this point. But I think there's definitely room for a middle linebacker to come in here, be it free agency or the draft. But I do think I want to gamble on Baron Browning here as a starter for us. Right outside linebacker, Bradley Chubb. It's his time now. No more living in Von Miller's shadow. You have to be our premier pass rusher. 81 star, only 25, so I think we can get it going. I feel like the last time we did the Broncos rebuild, he went up to X Factor. He was getting a lot of dev trait scenarios in season, so hopefully that is going to be the case here today. Secondary is filthy in terms of depth. Unfortunately, from a rebuild standpoint, Callahan and Kyle Fuller are both pretty old at this point. I mean, luckily we have PS2 Pat Surtain, 81 superstar rookie. There you go. There's lockdown franchise corner. Darby's here, 77 star dev. I mean, we're gonna have to move some of these assets. I think Fuller and Callahan might be out of contract. We'll see that in just 1 second here. But I think Surtain long term. You have Ojemudia, 2376 with the star dev. There's another guy that we can definitely develop and build around. So Ojemudia, Surtain long term. And depending on how many other assets we have at corner, maybe look at trading some for draft picks or getting better elsewhere. Justin Simmons at free safety. Beast. Still very surprised he has a star dev. I think he should be kind of a lock for a superstar dev. Top 5 player, debatably at his position. About 92. Lockdown, 27. Got a new contract. He is going to be a staple. Defense at the other spot, we got veteran in Kareem Jackson, 33. So we need to find a new strong safety between Jamar Johnson from Indiana, the rookie, 68. I mean, maybe if you can get a dev trait there. Also, Caden Stearns, another young player, 69. I don't know. I don't know if we go with one of these guys as a successor or we see what hits on the open market. But it is another area that we do need to consider. Getting younger special teams is fine. Let's see. So we got a second-round pick and a third, I'm going to guess. That was the Von Miller compensation, which is not that bad. Maybe somewhere in those spots we can get a nose tackle, we can get a strong safety. Who really knows? We're going to be using my up-to-date draft class here. So players that absolutely fit the bill that we are looking at positions in need. So we have quarterback. So Matt Corral. We haven't used Matt Corral in a rebuild yet. We actually haven't used Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, Carson Strong. That's probably as far as we're going to go for like big quarterbacks coming this draft season. So, I mean, hey, by all means, if one of these guys, especially Carson Strong, that kind of fits the billing of a Denver Broncos quarterback. So we'll see how the draft kind of plays out there. So we're talking about defensive ends, more so, 3-4 defensive ends. Karlaftis, Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker could be in that territory. DeMarvin Leal would be a very good pick here for the Denver Broncos if we can find a way to land him. Nose tackle, Jordan Davis. I mean, I'd probably pull the trigger if he is there. Phil Mathis from Alabama, potentially. Going to middle linebacker, look for guys that can tackle. Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd, Christian Harris. Hell yeah. Got to make a couple slight mods here. I think Popo actually returned to Auburn. But again, haven't done my big, massive update just yet. Because I think the deadline's a couple days from now. So we'll be able to get an update there. But Brandon Smith, Toto. Probably about it for guys that can play middle linebacker for us. But the options, again, are very much there. And then finishing up at the secondary spot, looking more so for safety, strong safety types. Definitely need to get rid of Brandon Joseph. He entered the transfer portal. But at strong safety, Jaquan Brisker, for sure. Catalan's actually returning back to Arkansas, so we might avoid him for the time being. But Harvell Peel is solid out of Oklahoma State. So there's, get a couple prospects there. Brisker, Jordan Davis, DeMarvin Leal. Could look at, another pass rusher for sure. Getting, upgrade over Malik Reed. There's options. And we are picking, what are we going to pick? Like 9, 10, somewhere in that range. So we're going to be able to take a big shot, I think. And maybe get a chance at one of these quarterbacks. Be it Matt Corral, Carson Strong, or Kenny Two Gloves. So the last thing, the absolute last thing we need to do just before we can get into the rebuild is we got to talk about contracts. Players that are out of contract. So we got Melvin Gordon, got to let him walk. Bryce Callahan. I think I want to re-sign Bryce Callahan. I'll offer him this 1-year deal. Just because we don't really have a slot corner. He could stay in the slot, and then we can have Ojemudia and PS2 on the outside. I mean, this is just a lot of guys to be losing. But there's no one here that's like screaming like, oh, resign me. If you don't resign me, you're going to lose. You get the Canadian Brett Jones there. It's like, oh, I think Malik Reed could be solid, but what's his ceiling? Same with Josie Jewell. This is tough. Like, I'm not giving a 29-year-old middle linebacker a 4-year deal. Honestly, I think we stay put. Like in the final window, we'll come back to Bryce Callahan just so that's because he'll hit with aggression, but he'll still be like an 82 slot, which is pretty solid. And the rest of these guys, best of luck elsewhere, man. We gotta get younger. We gotta save some money. So we'll very, very quickly look at the stats here, just because off the top of my head, I don't know the final stats for the Denver Broncos this season. Teddy Bridgewater, 30-11, 4,100 yards. I feel like a lot of that was probably done in our sim. There's no way he was on pace for something like that. Running backs, again, 1-2 punch here between Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. On the receiving front, no 1,000-yard receivers, but again, with the limited quarterback play, wasn't shocking. Defensively, 95 tackles there from Kenny Young. We got 9 picks, 9 sacks, 12 TFLs for Draymond Jones, which is pretty dope. Not much else in terms of pressures. Really disappointing number there from Chubb. Did he miss time for injury or something like that? If not, he had to. There's no way. 5 picks, Josh Simmons. 4 from the rookie PS2. 2 from Stearns. That's, it is, yeah. You guess some of those guys, especially on the defense side, some of those young guys can build off of that. But now let's just get in the offseason. Let's try to fix this team. Wow, looks like a rematch from the Super Bowl like 2 years ago. A super boring Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. 14-7. Patriots win the Super Bowl. Mac Jones, it just keeps on rolling on. That'd be pretty brutal. Looking at our team, any dev traits? Could be. I mean, honestly, could be. I'm more so on the defense. Let's see what we have. On the offense, in terms of development, Javonte Williams, who didn't have his dev trait unlocked, is a star dev. That's fine. We can work with that. On the defensive side, we have dev traits going. Draymond Jones up to superstar. Okay, we can do something with that. That's a win. Josh Simmons rightfully back up to a superstar. Those are help move the needle just a little bit in this rebuild. I'll take that. 2 superstar upgrades. All right, we're gonna come back to the table here with Mr. Callahan. Actually, didn't regress too badly. So I really don't want to hit him in the open market, and I'm gonna overpay a little bit just because I don't see where else I'm gonna spend this money at this point. So I'm gonna give him 1 year, $13 million. Got him to re-sign, and now we still go into the free agency market with almost 50 million cap. Let's see if we can spend. So take a look at free agency. We are gonna be kind of aggressive in terms of spending money, but we're not gonna be ridiculous. Like some of these top 2 targets just don't make a lot of sense for the Denver Broncos, like reuniting with Von Miller. He wanted out, and no one went to his Halloween party, yada, yada, yada. Quarterbacks, unfortunately, suck. We got Colin Kaepernick, just 79. I still just got to keep remembering to, nerf him. I did think about maybe Mariota, but there already is a, sizable offer there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't want to really get a pissing match for him. I think we're going to have to try to draft a quarterback, or worst case scenario, we stick with Drew Lock this year, and then draft a quarterback next year, or see what the open market looks like next season. So the offers I have kind of gone out at, one is Leighton Vander Esch. He just seems like a Denver Bronco to me. I don't know why. And there's some pretty other big bigs there, so I won't be shocked if we don't get him. But I can rock and roll with Van Der Esch and Baron Browning as my linebackers next season. Ronnie Harrison Jr. at strong safety for sure. Star Dev, only 25. Actually came with a pretty big bid here. Think he could be a nice set and forget piece on the back of the defense. We have fullbacks in the offense, so I figure why not? Let's get Alec Ingold, probably one of the better young fullbacks in the NFL. And then we're getting a Star Dev punter here in Jamie Gillian. Very nice. All of our targets come. Everyone wants to buy into the rebuild here for Nathaniel Hackett and the Denver Broncos. Ronnie Harrison, Ingold, Van Der Esch, and Gillian, I'll accept. All right, let's go, man. I'll tell you this. If there's a quarterback that I think worth getting in the draft, we'll pull the trigger. Like, I'm hoping in my dream scenario for this draft is that we can go like edge rusher, because we have pick 10. I don't know the frequency that the QBs go here, but if we can go edge rusher and then get like Carson Strong in the second round, I feel like that would be the dream. Leal would have been a top pick at number 10 as well. Let's see what we got. I have a feeling there's going to be QBs there. Sam Howell, Malik Willis, Carson Strong. Okay. Damn, I was kind of hoping between Pick and Crowell, one would fall just so that we could have a different quarterback. So we don't need wide receiver. Not worried about the offensive line. O-line's pretty set and forget right now. So you flip on the defense. Karlaftis actually could be solid. I'd consider him over one of those QBs, like trying to just hope that we can get Carson Strong. Or maybe we'll trade up and get Carson Strong in the second round. Ajabo would also be a good scheme fit. Jordan Davis, kind of. You know, in real life, I don't think it's worth the investment for the sake of Madden. Probably is. Jacoby Dean, middle linebacker. Man, if we didn't get Van Der Esch, I probably would almost consider either Dean. Like, we have our choice right now, pick 10. And rightfully so. I mean, linebacker's not super valuable today's NFL, at least in terms of how people are spending and investing their picks. I mean, we're good at safety because we got Harrison. So really, we need like an edge rusher. And we got Drake Jackson, USC, ZTF from Washington, Benito, Oklahoma, or we can consider Ojabo and kick him to the outside for sure. Is that where the top 10? I think we got to go Karlaftis. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get George Karlaftis, and then we're going to try to figure out how to get a quarterback in the second round. It's Hidden Dev, 88 Excel. I mean, he's a great athlete. People are expecting. I think he was I still have my mock draft sheet here. Karlaftis is number 7 on the Bruce Feldman's freak list, which means he's a freak. At 275, 88 acceleration, that he could probably even be faster. So we are now at the beginning of the second round. Carson Strong is still on the board, so it's time to make a move. Now, I wish there was a way to see draft history, because the Lions and the Texans are picking first and second in the second round. I assume that they drafted this quarterback. Like some team took Matt Corral, some team took Kenny Pickett. Lions and Texans both kind of need quarterbacks, but I mean, in this world, probably not the Texans actually, because Deshaun Watson. So either way, I'm going to trade our second and our third. We still have the second and the third from the Rams. I'm going to trade our second and our... Actually, you know what? I could probably actually trade the Rams second. What did I think about it? I'm going to trade our second and the Rams third to move up 9 spots here. I think that's smart for the Lions as they continue the rebuild, just to acquire as many draft assets as they can. And now we sit here with the first pick in the second round. And boy, oh boy, I did not know that this is what it was going to be, but it's a good fit, and I'm excited to see it. It is going to be the Carson Strong Denver Broncos realistic rebuild, and he doesn't have a fucking dev trade. Awesome. Now we're into like the territory of like just going BPA, and like it's like Zach Carter, 6'4", 285, kind of fits our scheme a little bit better, but the fact that Myjai Sanders is still on the board, gotta get him. Gotta get him. And, we'll have to figure out, maybe, I don't know, bulk up some of these guys and see if we can put them down the line in the front 3 or do something. But kind of gotta go BPA. Hidden Dev. Let's go. So, draft recap time. Really good draft outside of the fact Carson Strong not having a dev trade. And that's just, that's not that big of an issue because if he hits the ground running, dev trades will come. So, we got Karlaftis at pick 10, 74 Hidden Dev, pass rusher. I think I'm going to be more inclined to put him down on the defensive line, right? He can come in and be the successor of Shelby Harris, 275. That is probably as light as you'd ever want to see on a 3-4 defensive end, but I think he could do it. Give him the Vegas. Look at the size of those muscles, man. That guy is juiced to the gills. naturally, I'm going to assume. I don't want to throw anything out there, right? But we work with that. Then we got Carson Strong traded up to get him 69 normal dev quarterback out of Nevada. Cannon. Absolute cannon. 93. Probably the strongest arm in this class. I think probably between him, Matt Corral, and Malik Willis. Like, those are the three that you're really going to be considering here. I think Carson Strong right now is kind of on the outside looking in, but still in the bubble of first-round quarterbacks. Everyone knows it is a weak quarterback class, and I think if Carson Strong, he does have some injury history that may, bump him out of the first round, but I think second round, I'd take that all day, especially for the Denver Broncos. So now we have a little bit of an extra challenge, not only rebuilding the Broncos, but to get Carson Strong to develop into an animal. Luckily, that's why you have Nathaniel Hackett as your head coach. Imagine if you have Dan Quinn. What is Dan Quinn going to do for the development of Carson Strong? Myjai Sanders. So now we put Karlaftis on the line. Sanders can come over and take over from Malik Reed as a pass rusher. Play on the other side of Bradley Chubb. 6'5", 255, 71 hidden dev trait from Cincinnati. Didn't have the great stats this year, but he is really, really good. We got Rasheed Walker, tackle from Penn State. I don't really have a super high. I just wanted to get a tackle because Garrett Bowles is kind of old. You never know if that contract can go sour. And 68 as a rookie, that you can work off that. Isaiah Likely, very talented tight end of Coastal Carolina in the 4th round. We got nose tackle Travis Jones in the 5th. Tyler Goodson, one of the better running backs in the Big Ten. Get him to come in. He'll be RB2, most likely, behind Javonte Williams. Then we got Channing Tindall from the national champion Georgia Bulldogs. And Lucas Kroll, Florida Gator transfer out of Pitt, was one of the top targets behind Jordan Addison for Kenny Pickett at Pitt last season. He's 66. That's pretty good ratings, to be completely honest with you. So a very, very strong draft class here in year 1 from the Denver Broncos. All right, so it took a little bit longer. We call that all that you've seen so far, the introduction. Here we are for year 1 of the Denver Broncos realistic rebuild. Here is where our squad is at, where it stacks up, and our first little, whatever, let's call it the little introduction of the rebuild. We now have a new quarterback that hopefully we can, sooner than later, get himself a brand new dev trade in Carson Strong out of Nevada. We brought in Alec Ingold. We got Javonte Williams now as RB1. Tyler Goodson from Iowa, the rookie, will be RB2. Rest of the skill spots, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and KJ Hamler. I think those are 4 wide receivers that we could definitely build and grow around. Noah Fant, Albert O, and Isaiah Likely at tight end. And everyone on the offensive line outside of Bulls is the right side of 30 with dev traits. Risner, Minards, Cushenberry, Muti, and even Garrett Bowles is still fairly solid himself. Defensively, we have Draymond Jones, new superstar. We had signed Linval Joseph off the market. We just didn't have a nose tackle. I tried making some trades for nose tackle, and this is one of those years. You guys probably know if you play franchise, every team has like negative salary cap. So like there was no D tackle that I could financially trade for around the league, which is kind of annoying. We're going to have Karlaftis at the other defensive end, a first-round pick out of Purdue. Rest of the front 7, we have Chubb, Baron Browning, Leighton Vander Esch, and Myjai Sanders as the linebacking core. Into the secondary, we have Bryce Callahan. Even when he's listed as corner 1, he is going to be in the slot. We're going to go Pat Surtain and Michael Ojemudia on the outside. Darby was a trade piece that I was trying to use to get a D tackle. I was looking at, I think the best one that I think I might have had a chance of getting would have been Derek Noddy from the Chiefs, even though it is trading within the division. But again, man, there's like 4 or 5 nose tackles that were worth trading for. All the teams couldn't afford any of our players, so that kind of sucked. And then at the safety spot, we brought in Ronnie Harrison Jr. for free agency, and Justin Simmons went up dev trade to a superstar. So I'm really, really optimistic here that we will have a solid year. I'm not expecting playoffs here in year 1. Really, if we could just get out of this with, a dev trade or 2 on either side of the ball, and including Carson Strong up to a star dev, I think that's a win for year 1. All right, we got back-to-back wins in 2 breakout scenarios. Reason why we're going to show this is supposedly these were fixed. There was a patch that went live today. I'm recording this on the 14th of January that fixed the issue where before, if you've been watching the rebuilds, it tended to be niche. It was when you had an offensive player with a breakout, they would always achieve it, regardless of if they hit it or not. That supposedly got fixed, so let's kind of test this out as we go through here. First up, though, we have Karlaftis, our first-round pick at number 10, potentially getting a dev trait scenario here, which tells me that he's only a star dev, which is a little bit underwhelming, but it is what it is. Breakout player number 2. Just want to say, I'm going to guess that this is probably Jerry Jeudy. It's Cortland Sutton. I mean, that's a tough goal to achieve, really achieve anyways, but optimistic we can kind of hit on one of those, and more so just bring light that they apparently have patched it, and it should work. Let's take a look. First things first on the defensive side of the ball. Or actually, this is the offensive one. Cortland Sutton. I mean, of course, they fixed it, but they still don't load, which is awesome. We lost 35-7, so we got absolutely smoked. And wow, we will actually take that George Karlaftis up to a superstar dev. 8,000 XP. Oh, you know what? Might not have been able to test for sure if they fully patched or not, because I mean there's no way, right? You needed 150 yards from 3 touchdowns. We had 7 points. But Karlaftis is now superstar. That's a thing of beauty here. I wonder what, I mean, let's see what he's looking at like now. Mr. Karlaftis, probably 76, 77, somewhere in that range. 75, 76. Right? He's not, you know, super happy right now, but there we go. One upgrade. You should be happy, bud. You just took your game to the next level. So essentially, through half of season 1 of our rebuild, our number 10 pick is a 78 superstar pass rusher. Nice. So at the midway point of year 1, 3-7. I mean, yeah, with a brand new quarterback, kind of expect with new coaches as well to have a little bit of growing pains. We have our scouting here. Actually, we can choose our focus bars. I've been going all in on D tackle. We need a nose tackle. Even if that's not necessarily the strength of this class. I mean, when you got guys like Mitch Beaver at quarterback, right? Those are the guys you want to look for. But yeah, we need a nose tackle. So looking at the guys that here are available, I mean, we have a lot of these dudes already scouted. Like 90, 95%. So it's probably, I think what we should do here now is, sometimes you get gigantic defense. Like that guy, 6'3", 316. That could be a nose tackle in our scheme. And he's projected to go pretty high. What do we got at right end here? Yeah, not much there. So there's, what other place could we get better at? I mean, I guess middle linebacker. In case Baron Browning doesn't have great development, let's get 2 more middle linebackers scouted here as well. But yeah, going all in on defensive tackle. We're going to pick the best tackle available, most likely come the first round of the 2023 draft. Contracts, not a lot of players out of contracts. We lost so many last year. But looking at guys we definitely want to prioritize. Draymond Jones, 79 superstar on the defensive line. I want to give him a 4-year deal. I want him to be here for the entirety of the rebuild. We have Dalton Risner at right tackle, same kind of deal. 3-year deal, very affordable, $8 million cap it, worth it. We have Bradley Chubb at pass rusher. Let's, you know, again, kind of expensive. I'm going to see what his production's at, but at this point, way too many holes to let him just hit the open market. We'll come back with a better offer. Noah Fant, that actually kind of seems a little bit bargain for a tight end of his capabilities. So we'll save a little bit of money on Noah Fant, maybe slightly overpay on Bradley Chubb. We have Callan here. I mean, if you'll take this 1-year deal, you don't continue to be our slot corner for 1 more season. If not, man, maybe we'll let him hit the open market and we can get younger at the position. But we definitely will come back to the table with Bradley Chubb. All right, a little bit later in the season, another depth trade today. Ronnie Harrison Jr., who we just signed as a free agent. He's star dev, so looking to go up to a superstar to pair with another superstar, Justin Simmons. That'd be pretty cool against the Cardinals. It's a tough matchup. Let's see right away, man. We've had pretty good luck when it comes to defensive players getting devs. Can Harrison become our second along with Karlaftis? And he did! Let's go! Ronnie Harrison Jr. up to a superstar, an absolute bargain on the open market. I don't even know what we paid him. I think his salary cap is like in the 3s. Let's see what he looks like here. Let's go. He's now going to be a scheme fit, 81 run support. Got himself 3 tackling, 1 zone coverage. But look at that 25 superstar on the defensive side of the ball. Let's go. And at the end of year 1, 6-11. So technically we took a step back in terms of the record by 1. But I think our squad, our team's at a lot better spot. Let's take a look at the stats around the league. A lot of yards for Brady, not a lot of touchdowns. It's just kind of weird. But nothing's really freaky. Aaron Donald tying the sack record, 22. 7 picks, Bobby Wagner. Leighton Vander Esch leading the NFL in tackles. He's on our team. That could be good for a dev trade. He's sitting on a star. And that'd be huge. Look at Carson Strong's first. I mean, we are using the Green Bay Packers playbook, which is not quite on like Bucks Chiefs tier, but it's pretty good. 4,500 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 12 picks for Carson Strong. That might put him in spot to go up dev trade, which is, that's all you can ask for, I think. That's outstanding. If he doesn't go up depth trait, as long as he keeps playing like this, I don't care being X Factor or normal dev. 36 touchdowns, that's good enough for us to build around. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns for Javonte Williams. Again, work in progress. Not maybe as high as I thought it was going to be, but he's going to grow as long as our offensive line is going to grow as well. And I think he's going to be eventually, a 1,500 double, get in a 20 touchdown type guy before the end of this rebuild. Receiving, we had 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns for Cortland Sutton, 1,000 on the dot, and 15 for Jerry Jeudy. 8-5 Noah Fant, almost 8-8 for KJ Hamler. Tim Patrick, kind of the odd man out here. Maybe we look at trading him to somewhere else because he's too good to be. He could be a wide receiver too on most teams in the NFL. Defensively, 151 tackles for Van Der Esch, leading the league. 122 for Baron Browning. We had 105 tackles for Ronnie Harrison, went up to superstar dev, as well as 3 interceptions. 6.5 sacks Bradley Chubb, 5 for Sanders, 5. Yeah, I wish it was 5. It's 4.5 and 21 for Karlaftis. 4 for Draymond Jones. Interceptions, 3 for Harrison, 3 for PS2, 2 for Justin Simmons. I would say slightly underwhelming for the defense, but again, it's only year 1, right? Feels like it's year 2, but it's still only year 1. Those numbers aren't too bad. MVP of the league went to Patrick Mahomes. Looking at the AFC Outs play, you went to Patrick Mahomes. Let's just see if we have any Denver Broncos showing up. Carson Strong, number 8 in the Offensive Player of the Year voting. Myles Garrett's the Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year did go to Carson Strong. Happy seeing that for him. Goodson coming in at 9. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Karlaftis. So Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year go to the Denver Broncos. Sanders coming in at number 3. And then for the rest of these individual awards, I thought we might have had a chance at wide receiver here. Jeudy at 4. And Sutton's not even making the list. God damn. Yeah, no award winners here for the Broncos. But hey, we got Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. For year 1, I will take that. Season's end here. The Cowboys and the Bengals go to the Super Bowl. Dallas winning 45-21. Dak Prescott is the MVP. That's all we could say for that. Quick summary, but as we cleared out the lockers, we do some upgrades, makes you feel good that we might have a dev trader too. Really, if we had to get robbed on a couple, I just need get Carson Strong up to the start. Get him off normal. Let's see what we have on offense. Carson Strong, hey, there we go. No dev trade for any wide receivers. I thought between Sutton and Jeudy, we might have had a chance, but I'll take Carson Strong going up. We'll keep pumping in points here to Strong Arm. Let's go. That is a win. On the defensive side, I'm going to guess Van Der Esch might be up to a superstar. That's the only one I can predict. Let's see what we have here. Wow. Nothing. Oh, no, Simmons. Justin Simmons up to an X Factor. That is a win. Karlaftis, Defensive Rookie of the Year. We're going to keep putting the points in here to Power Rusher. He's up to an 82 overall Power Rusher, so hopefully that helps him up his sack production. I am very surprised Van Der Esch did not go up. Him or Browning. Especially Browning on normal dev, going over 100 tackles, but is what it is, and I will take X Factor here for Justin Simmons, who now has the Zone Hawk ability. Congratulations. Get me more interceptions, please. For free agency, I mean, if I could straight up just sign like a known commodity at nose tackle, I would. Really, the only option that even looks remotely interesting is Greg Gaines, and even there, you can just see the limited ceiling. So yeah, I mean, we're still in the beginning stages, the infancy stages of a rebuild. Bobby Wagner would not be signing for the Denver Broncos, I don't think, unfortunately. Like maybe Zach Cunningham, but there's already a bunch of bids on him. I think this might just be a window that we're going to kind of sit on the outside looking in. I mean, another corner. We have Sertain Ojemudia. Darby's trade bait. Callahan's gone. So we do have an opening at corner. Murphy Bunting. Greedy Williams. Try to develop Greedy Williams a bit. It's not a scheme fit, though. And really, we just need a slot guy. I think we're going to sit this one out, honestly. I'm not seeing anything that's, like, screaming. I mean, Quentin Nelson, honestly, on offensive line, but I think I want to save our money and just keep all of our guys on our offensive line for the rate of the rebuild. So, yeah, we'll sit this one out. All right, this is going to be one of the toughest picks. So we pick at 5 because we suck, and there's 3 defensive tackles here. All of them look, I can't tell you. It's going to be a leap of faith here. Which one's the best? We have Javonte Durham from Tennessee. Any of these guys are perfect fits for nose tackle. We just add a couple, put them on a weight tree. Everyone gains like 5-6 pounds or something like that. We got B tackle. He's a top fit for our team. And look at this. He's first in the 40, 4.77 at 310. And then the bench press is second. The 3-cone is second. The 20-yard shuttle is first. It's like, all right, man, this guy's got to be our pick. And I was like, well, look at this guy. We did our homework on him. Tyler Boston of Florida State. He's actually a scheme fit as a run stuffer. We got power move's not great, but A tackle, A finesse, B block shed, pretty damn good. And look at the physicals. Second in the 40-yard dash, first in the bench press, first in the 3-cone, third in the 20-yard shuttle. So I'm like, oh man, maybe go Tyler Boston. Tiebreaker is that he's a scheme fit. And I was like, well, look at this guy, Stamper from Georgia, 6'5", 300 pounds, B tackle, A power, B finesse, B block shed, scheme fit, fifth in the 40. Third in the bench press, third in the 3-cone, second in the shuttle. So he's the weakest combine out of all of them because he's, and that's barely saying anything. Marginal, top 5. But he has the best key ratings, I think. So this is, I feel like when in doubt, we probably should go with if everything's kind of close. Like, Boston does have that the C power move there, but he has A finesse. Does Stamper have any A, like A finesse, A power? So he's A power, B finesse, block sheds B. Not as good. And Durham here. What we got here? We got B. We have less information, but that combine is pretty terrifying. I think we just gotta go scheme fit here. All three of these guys look like studs. We're gonna get bought. Fuck, debit trade. God damn it! Alright, the second round, I mean, I just gotta show it because we hit on a dev trade. Just kind of went best player available at this spot. Just, when you draft offensive linemen, pretty much, it's within the realm of possibility that if you draft a tackle, they can play any of the tackle spots, any of the guard spots. And we got Blake Hoffman here with a hidden dev. Oh, it's so annoying. Normal dev on the. We're gonna look at the other D tackles. I mean, if they're only star devs, if they have, I mean, look at the rating. The rating's absurd. He's probably #1 in true talent. This is a Madden 21 pick. We get the best player in the draft, and they're normal. He's insane. 94, like, very good. And given the rate that we earn dev traits, that's fine. I mean, the rest of the draft, We got a 68 D end here, Roby from Memphis. 67 corner in the first round, Tyreek Battle. North Dakota State, 63 linebacker. Kind of just trying to gamble on the combines. We didn't have a whole lot of information. We got our hidden dev in the O-line, but let's look at these D tackles that we were considering. So Stamper is 75, normal, okay. I mean, he was considered. He was the least likely option. It was the other D tackle, Javonte Durham. That was piquing my interest because of the combine. He is 75 with a hidden dev. If it's star, I can live with it. If it's star, I can live with, the better player with the less overall. It kind of breaks even a little bit. If it's superstar or something like that, fuck. All right, so here we go for year number 2. Really with our roster, very quickly through it, we have a new nose tackle. First round pick, Boston. Other than that, no dev traits that have happened since then. I mean, it's kind of cool. I guess everyone on the offense is off normal. That's pretty pretty pristine. Let's get them up to goal. Let's get everyone here goal. Even though dev trait linemen don't go up. I would be really nice to get Boston up a dev trait, knowing that really it came down to a coin flip between him or a rookie that is a couple points lower, but had a superstar dev trait. It's just pretty annoying. That does usually happen, but it's humbling sometimes. Someone that is borderline arrogant with how I can draft in the Madden series. When you miss one, it makes you like, it's like, okay, live and learn. Try to figure out why the other player was better. What were the tells that the other player was better? And you just move on. But we got a brand new X factor on the defense. Justin Simmons, excited to see them. I want to see the sack production go up, and I want to see Carson Strong to keep playing like a top 10 quarterback. So at the midway point of year 2, 4 and 6, last place in the West, but I know we can finish strong. We can finish strong, and it's still it's more about we're still in the infancy stages of our team. We're still building a squad here, and the results aren't going to make or break. I'm not going to get discouraged yet. Still, I feel like we're a year away from having real legit expectations about where we need to be. Those are some contracts here with the offensive line, the young O-line that we want to keep together. So we're going to be giving pretty much everybody here long-term extensions because we want, again, Muti, we want him here. Lloyd Cushenberry on the interior as our starting center. Throw him a $5 million or 5-year big-time contract. Ojemudia at corner. Want to continue his development, so we'll give him a 4-year deal. Another roughly $5 million cap hit. And then we got Jerry Jeudy. 15 touchdowns last year. Yes, sir. Absolute beast, starting to look like the guy that we thought he was coming out of Alabama. Got him locked up. I mean, outside of that, I mean, we have Hamler, Darby. I don't really want Hamler to go. I feel like Hamler could be the guy that steps up. And plus, he's very cheap. If we decide we eventually want to move on from Tim Patrick. Again, another scenario where there wasn't really any trades I wanted to make, but I did kind of dabble, looked on like the, manual trade, just seeing what was there. And again, a lot of tough salary cap. Nothing made sense to move on from Tim Patrick just yet. But hopefully we can get a couple wins here. Finish above 500. That's our goal. That's our mid-season goal. 9-8 would be dope. And goddamn, we did it! I mean, still last place in the West. I wanted 9-8. The team got us to 9-8. The fact that at the end of year 2, we're 85s across the board. And there's not, we're not a team that's bloated with, regressing players or super old players or anything like that. Bodes very well for year 3, 4, and 5 here for the Denver Broncos. Looking around the league. Well, Mahomes is just unstoppable, 56 touchdowns. Kind of is just what it is at this point, for God's sakes. Nothing else really crazy. For our own quarterback, Carson Strong, a little bit on the outside, 11th in yards, 13th in touchdowns. Not a bad year, though. Interceptions could shave a couple off, 4,400 yards, 32 touchdowns. We had 11 and 17 for Javonte Williams, nice. 12 and 12 for Tim Patrick. Actually had a breakout year for us, for the rebuild standpoint. 1,006 for Sutton, 8 and 2 for Judy, almost 7 and 5 there for Noah Fant. And on the defensive side of the ball, 134 tackles, Baron Browning. We have 13 sacks, Karlaftis, 9 from Bradley Chubb, 5.5 from Tyler Boston. I'll take those numbers. We wanted up our sack numbers, sack production for sure, and we did that. PS2 leading the team with 3 picks. Interceptions could be a little bit better, but I'm happy that at least we saw some progress in the sack department. A quick look here at the yearly awards, because you just want to get in the offseason. Back-to-back MVPs for Patrick Mahomes. It's borderline Jay-Z at this point. Wow, Baker Mayfield on the Raiders. Looking at Denver Broncos. Wow, Karlaftis runner-up. He was Defensive Rookie there last year. Now he's Defensive Player of the Year runner-up in the AFC anyways. Ooh, wow, Stamper, the D-tackle we passed on, won Defensive Rookie of the Year over Tyler Boston. And then for the rest of the awards, Karlaftis is the top D lineman in the NFL. What a pick. Cowboys won another Super Bowl. Yawn. Who cares? Looking at our team. Dev traits. Well, you have some upgrades. So now I'm thinking, can Karlaftis be an X Factor? Probably should be an X Factor. Looking at the offense. In terms of upgrades, we have Tim Patrick's a superstar. Cool. Defensively, Karlaftis, rightfully so, is now an X Factor. I mean, completely surpassing any and all expectations we had. It was kind of just like, oh, he's still here at pick 10? Let's make that selection. I did not think he'd be our Von Miller replacement for the most part, right? This is absolutely absurd. So we will take, what do we got here? These abilities. I don't know. I feel like there's probably somewhere on the Reddit people have figured out what the best abilities are for the sim, like which abilities, superstar and or X Factor, are just ridiculous in the sim. So let's just give him under pressure, I guess. Anything that can help him continue to get double-digit sacks. Well, no other dev traits, which is, I'm surprised, man, our linebackers aren't getting dev traits. They're getting a lot of tackles, a lot of production. Usually that's kind of hand in hand, but I will take Karlaftis being an X Factor and Tim Patrick going up to superstar. Another free agent period, man. I wish I could be like, dude, we're gonna get like the biggest upgrade. There's nothing. Absolutely not. Again, third corner, but like these guys are like 33, 34. We're not quite at that stage where we could just get a guy for a 1-year window and just hopefully keep keeping him on a one. Ooh. Let me take a swing here at Jeff Okudah. Be an interesting reclamation project. Try to save his career. Oh, Jesus, there's a big bid there from the Chargers. Let's see here. Maybe 3.5, 270, 175. Try that. 5-year, $26 million. Over top 5 pick. If we don't get him, it's not that big of a deal. At least we threw an offer on. And again, there's not much there, man. Not extra. Our team's very good. I think that's also an issue, is that we have so many players that are young, that have dev traits, that we think it's just probably worth gamble that they can continue to develop versus paying for an immediate upgrade in the open market. But I will take a Jeff Okudah signing. Now, let's go into the draft. All right, so as we go into the draft, only one position in need, I think, and it's just because Baron Browning's not really developing. None of our linebackers are taking their game to the next level. So we have DeAndre. It comes down to two players. One is Shane Connor, who I'm pretty sure is a pass rusher. I mean, you can look at the notes. We don't have any key ratings to help out, but when you look at, like, 6'4", 265, that's pretty much a pass rusher. The combine looks pretty damn good, though. But we need a guy that can play in the middle. So I think the best option here in the middle of the defense is DeAndre Snell, the only first-round projected linebacker. We have B. Blockshed. Not really a fit for us, but 6'2", 250. He's an athletic monster. I figure why not? Pretty much the same build. Give me a dev trait. God damn it, give me a dev trait, man. What can I do to buy dev traits in this freaking game? Sucks that we missed out on the dev trait. He's probably still going to have a fairly good rating. Like 74, 75? It's 75 for DeAndre Snell. Benny Snell's cousin or something like that. And he looks terrifying. Absolutely terrifying as a linebacker prospect. So I guess that's is what it is. We got Clyde Huff, hidden dev, pass. I mean, again, just kind of going BPA, stocking up on a rotational pass rusher here. Rest of the picks, yeah, 4th round, running back, 69, Tim Hill out of Memphis. We got a 68 defensive end in the 6th round, Antoine Sampson out of USC. Wasn't a bad draft. Just really wish, if we could flip the devs, give Huff the normal, Snell the hidden dev, I think I'd rather prefer that. So for year 3 for the Denver Broncos, I mean, our roster is pretty freaking stacked, to be honest with you. I think this might be the year that we, 10 wins, double-digit wins. We start considering 10 wins or less being a disappointment. But looking at our roster, I mean, these are always going to be fairly quickly because we haven't been super active in free agency. Haven't had to be super active in free agency. Really, the only thing that was new from this offense than an offense a year ago is that Tim Patrick, our 3rd wide receiver option, went up a dev trait. Don't know if that's going to translate on the field or not. But I think before all is said and done here, Sutton, Javonte, and Jerry Jeudy will be in the 90s, which is, that counts for something. And then you flip on the defense. New X Factor in Karlaftis. Hopefully he keeps on crushing him. We brought Jeff Okudah coming to be the 3rd corner. Snell, our 1st round pick, will get the opportunity to play alongside Leighton Vander Esch as a starter on our defense. But anything less than 10 wins, I'm going to be pretty frustrated here in year 3 of this Madden 22 Denver Broncos realistic rebuild. All right, so for year 3 at about mid-season, 5-4. Being a game above 500 sounds a little disappointing, but we're 2nd place in the West, only 2 games back on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs usually run away with the division. So that's just, another reason why we want to get the Broncos rebuild all the way, because anytime you're just in direct, it's annoying enough when you're in the AFC going against the Chiefs in a rebuild, but when you're in their own division, makes it that much more annoying. Look at that contract. We have a lot of money. This is why we haven't been spending like crazy on free agency, because the talent that we have in the building is good enough to win. We just got to let them continue to grow and develop and get to a point where they're the best players at their position in the league. So Surtain, Simmons, re-sign. We got Javonte Williams. He's been crushing it at running back, so we'll throw him a 5-year deal. We have Garrett Bowles, left tackle, again, just riding this line. We're going to continue to ride our lineman into the ground. We'll give him a 2-year deal. Pretty expensive, but he'll take that money. That's good money for him. Quinn Meinert's at right guard. Let's give him like a 5-year deal. Try to lessen that cap hit so that, as things ramp up for years, 4 and 5 here, we can be a little bit more aggressive in free agency. I feel like Tim Patrick, we'll just enjoy him for this final year, I suppose. Everyone else, we spent a lot of money, still have a lot of money for the open market this offseason. All right, fucking brutal. I feel like, honestly, we lost a lot down the stretch here. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe we gotta look at, open up the schemes here. We went on a win streak, which felt good, and then we won 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our last 8 were losses. I'm very happy with where our team's at development-wise. 87 was across the board. Still have 2 years left to win a Super Bowl, but just really, the talent's not lining up with the stats that we're getting here. Vander Esch, the 2nd leading tackle in the NFL. As we have big picture-wise, Strong is, he's peaking. I'm a little worried that he's peaking here a little bit. Needs to take his game to the next level. Run the ball, again, not bad, but higher expectations, I suppose. Not a bad year for Jerry Jeudy, 11 and 11. 1,000 for Noah Fant. Sutton, kind of a down year for him. Defensively, Vander Esch, tackle machine. Might finally get that dev trait with that kind of year. 8 TFLs, 2 sacks, 3 picks. 15.5 sacks, Karlaftis, which is Absurd. 7.5 for Sanders. 7 there for Chubb. Take those numbers. Interceptions still be hard to get for this defense. Yearly awards, Russell Wilson is the MVP. At least it's not Patrick Mahomes. And then big picture here in the AFC, if we have any Denver Broncos, which we unfortunately don't. So we absolutely had a chance of making the playoffs this year. And then losing 6 of your final 8 games, yeah. Gotta be going golfing sooner than later when things like that happen. Dallas won another Super Bowl. Who gives a fuck? Let's look at our team here. Any dev traits? Anything that we can take from this year outside of the fact that we're going to let our only superstar player on the offense walk, and I'm not seeing it. Defensively, Van Der Esch went up to superstar, long overdue, some might say. So that's and Huff, the hidden dev, pass rusher superstar. Okay. It's like one of those things too, like, where do I trade? Like, it's like, okay, well, now we have a little bit of a surplus requirement, you might say. Like, Sanders, Chubb, Huff, we don't need... What do I trade for here? You know, like... Our last 2 first-round picks, this is realistic rebuild, not just, can I get the most stack? You're not going to replace 2 very good-looking prospects here still in Boston and Snell. It's just... I don't know, man. We're in a weird spot where our team really just... There's no other way to explain it than they just need to be fucking winning games. Free agency, is there any needle movers here? Let's see what we got. Najee Harris, and you don't need a running back, so that's that. We have DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver. Keenan Allen, like, okay, you want someone young that you can grow and develop. Not really at that spot, but... Come back to that. I feel like we're at a why not type stage. We have enough money to pretty much pay anybody that we want. Let's make sure there's nothing on the defense that really screams this is where we need to spend our money. Aaron Donald's there. Get Khalil Mack. Bobby Wagner. Would have been nice to see like a Jew. Ooh. I mean, again, we don't need to go corn. We just got like Dancer's interesting. But he's not gonna. He's such a low overall. He's not gonna have any abilities. I mean, let's offer Dantzler here. See if I don't have to overpay. Like if that's not competitive enough, whatever. Yeah, we're way out there. So let's go after one of those wide receivers. It's just like trying to combat Madden. Because you look at the stats, we have 2,000-yard receivers every single year, which is top tier. But between DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, I've signed Keenan Allen a couple of times. I don't think I've ever had DeAndre Hopkins in a rebuild. So let's overpay. We'll give him 14, and I'll give him 9, honestly. That should be enough. 3 years, almost 69 million bucks. Wow, we're not even close. All right, can we give that to Keenan Allen? It'd be a lot more affordable to get him. So we'll see. We'll offer him like 12.5. Then we'll go 6.5. What's that look like? 3 years, 56 million bucks. We're gonna have to overpay for somebody here at this point. What about 13.5? Like what kind of bid did the Bengals throw after him? Okay, this is the highest bid I'm going. It's about 10 million bucks less than what we probably have to. Jesus Christ, there's no chance. I give up. Fucking what? Ah. Nope, not doing it. Fuck you, man. Again, my team's so good, I don't really know where to... I'm going to go wide receiver. And I look through all these guys. Like, of course, top wide receiver here has C catching. So we're just going to go with what we know, and that's combine. And we're going to look at DeAndre Nixon, Penn State. What we have with him, he's 6'3", almost 210 pounds. Ran a 4.3 at his pro day. Second in the 3-cone. tops in the 20-yard shuttle. Would have been maybe a little bit better vertical, would have been nice, but that's going to be our pick. And it looks like a freak of nature. Let's go. So draft recap time. We have our hidden dev wide receiver. Hopefully he's a freak of nature. 73 speed, 6'3". I like it. We got a 70 outside linebacker from Florida International. Rest of the draft, I mean, it just kind of came as is. Hyde was one of the wide receivers I did kind of key in on. Deep threat. You know, he's not a burner. Everything else at the combine looks solid. But again, we're at this stage where, like, I don't know. Like, as much as we're like, where can we get better? Like, there's nowhere really you can get better. Like, without throwing the realistic out the window and just trying to make sure we have the highest overall player available that we can sign to every single position, which is not what I want to try to do in this series. This team is good. This team needs to be fucking, 10, 11, 12 wins minimum this year. Year 4, our team's the exact same. We're going to, definition of insanity is mad at having a shitty game that my ratings don't matter. It's not trying to go with the exact same team every single year and expecting different results when they keep underperforming. No! This is a good team! Start winning! That's all I need, start winning. I need Nixon here to be like an X factor. That'd be awesome. And then everyone else, start winning! All right, midway point of year 4. This is the last and most important negotiation period because these are guys we want here for the final year of the rebuild. And not bad, I guess. 6-4. It's not amazing, but we're tied for first place in the West, which is pretty damn good given the way the rest of this rebuild has gone. Contracts. Okay, this is another positive to the free agency period having to be fairly light in terms of signings. Is that anytime any of our big players go, we're laughing. We're re-signing anybody we want to. So we got Karlaftis, Harrison, who went up dev trait since we signed him as a free agent a couple years ago. Let's keep him back there. We have Sutton at wide receiver. Again, I mean, it would be nice if he had a better dev trait, but he's been copy and paste 1,000 yards for us, it feels like. We have Van Der Esch, middle linebacker. One of those things where maybe we can do better. He's 29. He's probably at the end, but we only need him for one more year, and he would most likely be the best middle linebacker on the open market. Wow, this is actually kind of an expensive period here. Sanders at pass rusher. I like just keeping players homegrown. But this is one of those ones, like, I feel like this could be a spot that we want to splash and bring in another pass rusher. I'm actually going to let him walk. That's a lot of money, given the fact that we also drafted that superstar dev. But we'll get Risner here at the right tackle spot. Obviously, you have Carson Strong. He's kind of the guy that we're committing to in this rebuild. And we got about, $30 million. So that's enough to make one splash signing, depending, wherever we need to get better at. All right, 7 week. This is one of those rebuilds where, like, or these seasons. Oh, shit, we made the playoffs. Where it's like every time we played a team that wasn't like 80 or below, we were losing. Like any good team we played, it felt like we were losing against. But we made the playoffs. Better late than never. Here in year 4 of the 5-year rebuild, the Denver Broncos at 9-8, second place in the AFC West. And we get to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure that's going to be awesome. Look at the league. Carson Strong, second place. I mean, I think it was a down year for the quarterbacks, to be honest with you. But, the yards are up there. 5,100 passing yards around the league. Kayvon Thibodeau, 21 sacks. Van Der Esch, 7 picks for the middle linebacker. Let's go. I'm glad we re-signed him. Looking at our stats this season, so Strong took it up to another level. I don't know if second in yards has to be good enough to get him superstar for his final year of this rebuild, but I hope so. Interceptions still ungodly high. You got to cut down on that. 19 picks, way too many. 12-16, Javonte, happy with that. 13-9, Sutton. 13-6, Jerry Jeudy. Almost 1,000 for KJ Hamler. Fant is there. Where's Nixon? This was our guy with the hidden dev. What's it, star? Yeah. Nice little fucking exciting star dev trait for our playmaker. Snell with 119 tackles. Love seeing this from Leighton Van Der Esch. 116 tackles, 7 interceptions. A thing of beauty. 19.5 sacks for Karlaftis. The guy we didn't know we wanted. 99. He is one of the best. There we go. The Von Miller replacement. 12.5 sacks there from Bradley Chubb. 4 picks, Justin Simmons. 3 from PS2. Decent numbers, man. We have a chance to, Defensive Player of the Year, maybe. MVP. Nothing there for us, unfortunately. In the AFC, I was playing with Lamar Jackson. Defensive went to TJ Watt, beating out Karlaftis. Then for the rest of the awards here, Karlaftis is the D lineman of the year. Again, no dev trait really on the line for any of these guys. Let's just get it over with. We know we're going to lose to the Chiefs, and it's all going to come down to year 5 where we have to take over on the sticks. That's just, what are the predictions here? I think we're going to lose by at least 2 scores, but maybe we can surprise the world. End of the season, at least Dallas didn't win like their 4th straight Super Bowl. Ravens beat the New Orleans Saints 38-10. We have an upgrade. It's probably what, Karlaftis, so we can't even spend. It is. Actually, we can. We can make him an official member of the 99 Club out of Purdue, the Boilermaker, the Spoiler Maker. Congratulations, what a monster you have developed in. And Van Der Esch with his 7 picks. He's up to X Factor. So, I mean, you know, maybe that's what we need, man. We just need more X Factors, and we're getting it. Van Der Esch on the back. Let's see if anyone else went up dev trade as we go into the free agent period. We have enough money to make probably one game-changing signing if one exists. But given the way this rebuild's gone, I wouldn't be shocked if like the highest overall free agents like an 83 or something like that. But Carson Strong went up dev trade. That's awesome. He's up to a superstar. And I think from the standpoint of this is a Carson Strong Broncos rebuild, he's been good considering where we started. He was what, 69 normal dev, now up to 87 superstar ahead of year 5. Defensively, we got Van Der Esch going up a dev trait. Huff is going to be most likely taking over for Sanders there. No other devs to really talk about. So, I mean, as we go into this open period, I think a lockdown corner. You look at the sim stats. Our corner stats have been. We've had one of the worst secondary. We've had one of the worst secondaries in the NFL last 3 years. And I mean, it's clear as day why, right? Clearly, like an 88. 90 X Factor, 94, 95, if you will, corner. You need more than that, right? You need more than that if you don't want to have a bottom dweller, bottom tier secondary, apparently. For God. I gotta stop swearing. I'm getting in a swearing mood because I'm just frustrated because I don't want to get demonetized here. But Jesus, man. Give me a break. Of course, now there's guys to sign. We got like Evan Neal, Mailata on the O-line. A couple other options here. I just feel like, you know, gotta get the splash move. Cole Hardman, scheme fit. Offers, I think Jerry Jeudy's the route runner. Sutton's the possession wide receiver. Hardman's that pure speed deep threat that maybe we've been missing to get an upgrade. You know, we have KJ Hamler that fits that style, but Hardman's been honing his craft for the Chiefs. He's now legit. You know, that's our one signing. Hopefully that helps with now a new superstar quarterback and a superstar X Factor middle linebacker. Maybe that's what we need to find the winning combination to have a chance at playing in the Super Bowl. I was getting ready to probably break something if Hardman declined that offer, but we got him. I mean, looking at our team ranks, so we have the 24th rushing offense, which doesn't make sense because our offensive line's good and Javonte Williams is a 95. We have the 29th passing defense, which again, we just highlighted earlier. What are we missing? Do I need all X Factors to have any chance of a top 5, top 10 defense in the sim? I feel like that's just completely unreasonable. Hopefully, you know, this team turns it around for year 5 and surprises everybody, myself included. And for our final draft, just trying to, you know, just BPA at this point. I'm looking at this guy. I think Darius Hayes, the corner out of Florida National, might make the most sense. We only have one key rating, which is B press. But the skills look good. Fast, good combine. Should be dev trait. Psych! So for our final draft, I mean, I hope that guy probably is going to be like the nose tackle or the linebacker we drafted. No dev trait, but pretty good. Yeah. 76 for Hayes. Great rating for a rookie. Stats look great. Everything but the dev trait looks very good. I'm not going to lie. I can't take credit for any of these other picks. I just simmed it out because it's the final draft. Cooks here, normal dev. We got another wide receiver in the 3rd round. Powell, normal dev. And looks like I've hit here. Tyler Stills, anytime you get in the 2nd round, 75 overall with a dev trait. Thank you, computer. I wish I could take credit for this one. I mean, too little, too late. Where was this, like year 2? But hell yeah, hell of a pick. Here's our final team. 90 overall. I would hesitate to guess that we have the highest overall team in the NFL. I don't think we're going to see another team. I'll pause the video. I'm going to go through week by week, just in case things go wrong, things don't go the way we want them to. That there's not another team that's a higher overall than us. Offensively, we have a brand new superstar quarterback. New superstar quarterback, new superstar wide receiver. Maybe that is enough to, you know, flip the switch, have this offense go from a pretty good offense to an elite offense. On the defensive side, obviously with the addition, Van Der Esch going to an X Factor. We're going with Huff, who, do dev traits matter? Has anyone done enough of a deep dive, especially under the hood, to like, you know, what's the impact of guys with dev traits in the sim? Does it mean something? These abilities mean something? I don't know, but we're going on a downgrade. We won't go from Myjay Sanders, who was an 82, I think, maybe even 83 star, to Huff here, who's a 79 superstar. Be interested to see what kind of production he could get. Sanders was getting, you know, 5 to 7 sacks a year. So kind of a breakout there. Our secondary, again, 29th. So a bottom 5 secondary with 3 guys that are 90 plus. Hopefully they don't suck. That'd be great. 15-2 first round bye. And like really after the bye is when our team just showed no mercy. Look at that, man. 1 loss to the Chiefs, and it's the Chiefs. But absolutely, like, finally. Why? Why just this? Was that what, like, what was it? I want to look at the stats here. Like, you look at it again. We had the worst pass defense again. How? How is this bullshit happening? Like, it has to be like, I don't want to be like it's scheme. Like, maybe. Like, does the Packers defensive playbook that bad against pass? I don't know. I'm gonna be happy with the record. We only lost twice. All right. Carson strong, very good this year. If we can go to the Super Bowl, might be an X factor for the Super Bowl. 5,000 passing yards, 39 touchdowns to 7 picks. Outstanding. 13-13 for Williams. Tim Hill, whoever the hell this is, 14 rushing touchdowns. So the rushing offense was on point. 12-9 for Judy, 11-13 for Sutton, 1,008 for McCole Hardman, and 1,003 for Noah Fant. So everybody ate all of our main targets. And I mean, Hardman, I guess, you know, added production. Defensively, Van Der Esch, very good. 130 tackles, 7 sacks, 2 interceptions. Holy shit. Holy sh! That's the most I've ever seen. That is the most... I think 25 might have been the, like, TJ Watt getting 25 or something stupid like that. That's your MVP right there. I don't care what anyone says. That is the MVP. Karlaftis is a god. Let's go. Not too often you see that. It doesn't even make the MVP race. Offensive player Lamar Jackson, defense player of the year. At least he went to him. 27.5 sacks. Like, you know, I'm someone as an Eagle fan right now, right? We're talking about the draft, focus on the draft. I feel he probably needs to address the edge rush position. We're going to be not, obviously, again, the Thibodeau or Aiden Hudson range. But, you know, if just because of this sim season in a Madden game, if Philly gets I'm going to assume he's the next greatest player of all freaking time. For the rest of the individual awards, Karlaftis there, that's it. But what? Let's go, man. That I'll say right there, that having that happen makes up, I think, for the last 2 years that have kind of been pissed away, where a team should be good, should be contending, have really underwhelmed. I will take 27.5 sacks from Karlaftis, and now we get to hop on the sticks to try to go on this playoff run. Let's smarten up. Let's play good football. We got the Titans, very beatable team. I gotta go look at that again, man. Let's just take one more little peek at this. Like, did it even show up on the thing? I was looking at your big picture. I didn't see anything. Yeah, it's right there. 27 sacks, dude. Incredible. Oh, let's go, Javante. Tennessee, I mean, you take away Derrick Henry. We take away Derrick Henry. We run the ball like that. I think we got a nice little win here to get into the AFC Championship game. Oh, throw on the run. A little bit behind Jerry Jeudy. Makes the grab up into the red zone. All right, opening drive. I will say I got 2 clock on, not for the obvious reason of we're scared to play. I want to gotta get this video done this weekend, and we've lost power like 3 times today. So just want to kind of get through the video as fast as we can, win a Super Bowl as fast as we can before my electricity goes out. And what is electric right now is the connection between Carson Strong and Jerry Jeudy, baby. Can't make a miss. Take the field goal. Try to take a lead into halftime. And it's good, baby. Let's go. 10-7. Tight bat. I mean, both these teams want to try to run the ball. Oh, let's go, Jerry Jeudy, baby. Covered on the linebacker. Man, that has to be a teleman. When your wide receiver like taps himself on the head, it's like he's telling you, I'm going to get open. Throw it to me. That's what he did. Jerry Jeudy, second tutty of the game. Okay, 33. We're going for the dagger. Play action. 2-minute warning. I mean, we feel very confident anyways, but a touchdown here means pretty much can kick our feet up and get right into the next game. We go to Noah Fant. It's a little late. And he makes a catch on Caleb Farrell. That's probably their best corner. And I mean, well, Noah Fant, what are we talking about, guys? This is like a mid-90s tight end right now. Able to get out the field, and there we go. We knock off the Tennessee Titans 24-14 in a game. Carson Strong was exceptional. 200 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, a $132 for Javonte Williams as the Denver Broncos are heading to the AFC Championship game. Let's go, baby. Let's get in here. Jags got an opening score. It's been a back and forth punt fest. Defense playing strong, but we got to look to try to tie this one up before halftime. Oh, no. That's a bad pick. I don't know why I did. Like, should have just lasered it. Lasered it into the running back. We got a defensive stop here. Another chance to get some points for halftime. Like, I don't know, dudes. This is... Jags defense is fucking suffocating. I got no room to breathe. Seeing ghosts. There we go. There we go, Jerry Jeudy. This is what we needed. Oh, and he got in for the touchdown. See, I was going to say, that's the kind of game it was so far. If we got that and he didn't get the touchdown, it's like, that should be a tutty almost, you know, every single time. But got to give full credit so far to this Jags team. They just scored again. They're pretty damn good. Let's go, Javonte. Good break. I mean, that's what he does. He goes through his insane contact balance. He breaks tackles. Fuck's sakes, man. Like, I'm not playing on all Madden. Stop with the fucking shenanigans. Make these throws. Like, anyone want to make a fucking play? Anyone? I'm going for it. At this point, I'm going to probably just turn this thing down to pro so I can start fucking winning some Super Bowls here. Jesus Christ, man. Shouldn't be this hard. We're 5 overall points better than the Jags, okay? Shouldn't be fighting and sweating for my life here on a Saturday morning. Okay, we got slants here. How's this going to go wrong? Who knows? But let's try and just remain positive. We tied this one up. Defense is going to get us a stop. We're going to be able to go get a lead here. Let's go. Man, you know that offensive line, we paid so much money. Do they like keep it here and develop? You know, can we play better, fellas? Fourth quarter. You know, get your blocks. You know. Oh, there we go. That makes up for all the bad throws. That was an S-tier throw by Carson Strong to Noah Fant. Oh, of course it's iced. Of course. 6 wind. It's iced. Don't matter. Don't matter, baby. We're iced at our home stadium for something. Like, that should be automatically not a thing, man. Especially for the home team. Either way, I'll have to give credit to the Jags. I did not think I'd almost have my ass kicked by All-Pro first thing when I woke up this morning, but they almost did it. Kept it close. Hell of a team, but we're just a little bit better, and we're going to have to wait the winner of the, I believe I saw from the ticker there, the Panthers and the Packers to see who we're taking on in the Super Bowl. All right, Super Bowl Media Day. Let's see what we got. See if we can gas our guys up here a little bit. Well, this would absolutely mean everything because it's our final year. This is going to be our final chance. And we have no other motivation outside of stat points that we can't use going forward, which is awesome. But we're taking on the 10-7 Carolina Panthers. What are the Panthers doing this year? You know, you can't, and in today's Madden world, you can't just look at the ratings. You gotta look at the stats, because playbooks and everything like that. They have Tyler Huntley's their quarterback. Okay. Obviously, McCaffrey, freak of nature. DJ Moore, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got John Mechie, the Canadian. Tremble and McCaffrey. On the defensive side, Shaq Thompson, Chris Barnes. They drafted Emerson and Palomo. 7.5 sacks, Gross Matos. Brian Burns is still there. He's not super effective, but he's, you know, I'm sure between him and Hassan Reddick, one of those guys is probably going to get 4 sacks against us. Get Javon Hargrave, Derek Stingley in the secondary. He's an absolute player. What's he, superstar? He's an X Factor. Awesome. Great. Lockdown guy. Okay, it's going to be tough, but, I mean, you look at the tail of the tape right there. It's 85 against 92. You look at the offense, they had the 6th offense, we had the number 1 offense. You look at their defense, we had the 3rd defense, they had the 16th defense. Both of our defenses are horrific at stopping the pass, so, you know, maybe we'll do that. Let's win this one on the arm of Carson Strong and the pass rush of the new record holder, single season sacks, George Karlaftis. All right, we ain't got time for the pageantry of the Super Bowl. We are focused, ready to dominate. Let's go. Let's go. Second level. Javonte, you know, different style runner. They got McCaffrey, pretty much slot wide receiver, running back. We get Javonte Williams, who's pretty much a freight train. Oh, the blocking's good. Would have liked to run over Jeremy Chin, but that's Jeremy Chin. He can make those tackles. He's a good player. Goal line power. Come on. Let's go. You're Javonte Williams, for God's sakes. Like, who's that guy? 15. Don't think 15 is stopping Javonte Williams on the wall. Going for it, baby. Let's go. If we get this, we're winning. If we don't get this, it's going to be a long day. Go. There we go. We tie it up. Defense gets a stop. Holy shit. Let's go. He's a freight train. Man, they brought the pressure. Man, last 2 games, Jags, I mean, come on, it's Tyler Huntley. I'll be very, very disappointed if we lose to Tyler Huntley in this. That'd be like add to the list of just the worst losses we've got in rebound. That's no disrespect to Huntley, but let's also be a little bit honest here with each other. It's Tyler Huntley's. Got a long field goal attempt. Trying to get the lead here. 8 win. We're kicking with 8 wins, so that helps. That kick looks good to me. Go Javonte. Hard run in to start the second half off. Hell of a blitz by Shaq Thompson there. Free, just scot-free. That's actually a great play like Cortland Sutton. 4th and inches. Let me just see what kind of look we got here. I mean, do we trust Javonte Williams behind this excellent Broncos offensive line? We do. And he moves the chains. I'll be honest, at this point, what do I got to do to get the momentum meter on my side? Get off me! What a run, Javonte Williams. And the Denver Broncos extend their lead. Defense get a stopper. We might be able to get out of this game with an easy victory. They hold them to a field goal, 7-point lead. Let's kill this clock off and win this game. I think we might have just trumped with Javonte Williams what the great Terrell Davis did in his prime, the John Elway years. That's how the Broncos win Super Bowl, on the back of the running game. Defense gets a stop. And we'll... Oh, man, my power is actually just flickered. So we'll get as quickly as we can through this ceremony here. Carson Strong can't believe it. He was able to bring a Super Bowl back to the Denver Broncos. Is that their 4th Super Bowl in franchise history? But there's the man that got the job done. The MVP. Got to be undisputed. Javonte Williams. There's Tyler Huntley. Got to be amazing for Tyler Huntley. Go from like Lamar Jackson's mini-me, to go to the Panthers and take them to the Super Bowl, but too little too late this year. Could not stop the rushing offense. Full kudos to that offensive line. The hog mollies up front for the Denver Broncos, blocking very, very well. But Javonte Williams also ran super hard. And you can't forget the regular season performance. George Karlaftis, projected first-round pick at Purdue for the 2022 draft class, shattering the single-season sack record, 27.5, like 5 more than the second place. Just an unreal season. Very happy to finish this one out here with a Super Bowl. So thank you guys very much for watching. It's always your first time stopping by. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to hit 1,000 likes on this video as a like goal. And that'll do it for me here today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment in the comment section below about maybe what team you guys want to see me rebuild next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.